Fala pessoal do All Play, tudo bem? Aline Nascimento aqui. Hoje eu tenho o prazer de conversar com Max Burkholder e falar um pouco mais sobre a segunda temporada de TED. Max, it's a great pleasure to have you here. I heard it's your second time in Brazil, right?
Yes, my second time in Brazil.
How is it for you?
It's fantastic. I mean, this second time I've only been here for 6-7 hours so far, but it's been nice the whole time. Yeah.
Great. In season 2, John is finishing high school and dealing with more responsibilities. How did you feel showing his growth from a lost teenager to someone starting to think about adult life?
It's funny that you asked that question because my response is, what growth? There's no growth. There's no growth between season 1 and season 2. There's no growth between the first episode of season 1 and the last episode of season 2 because he's in the same place mentally, maturity-wise as he is when we meet him again as Mark Wahlberg in the first movie. So I would say that the season 2 is a lot more of the same in terms of being stupid and being immature.
Ted continues to be a completely chaotic influence in John's life, right? Do you think that this season, John starts to realize that maybe he can follow all of Ted's advice?
No, absolutely not. I appreciate the bent of all of these questions of you're really giving the character a lot of credit as being like a person who has like big, smart, important realizations. No, Ted lies to him and says that he slept with a 70-year-old woman, and John, rather than questioning any part of it, is like, okay, great. Does she have a friend? Are we gonna both date senior citizens? How's this gonna go?
What was the most absurd or challenging scene for you to film?
Most absurd or challenging, I think, is it the 5th episode, The Sword and the Stone, where I'm up on stage in the full armor and I'm high on like mushrooms and weed and I start to piss myself. That one, it was really absurd and really challenging because I was wearing all this armor. They had like a rubber hose running down my leg to start like shooting out the fake pee. And it was horrible. Every second of it was awful. But it came out really funny, so it's fine.
This season, we see more of John's family, especially in serious moments, like when his father has a heart attack. How do these scenes show a more human side of him?
I think you're exactly right. I think those scenes, as much as I'm saying he doesn't grow and he doesn't mature, which are the true things, those scenes, as you say, really do show a bit more grounded of a side of him. Like, it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter how silly you are or you behave or your life is. Like, when serious stuff like that happens, it really pulls you into the reality of things. Even if your best friend is a talking teddy bear, if you think your dad's gonna die, you're gonna get serious all of a sudden, for sure.
Ted is a lot sometimes, right? If you can change one thing about him, what do you change?
Just change one thing about him, what do I change? I don't know, like maybe have him wear clothes. It's weird how he's always running around naked.
Yes.
Like, we talk about it, I think, in the first episode of season 1, where it's like, how does he hold on to things? Where are his pockets? It would go a long way to like, to making me more comfortable with how he exists if he just wore clothes.
And what's his best side?
His best side, probably, I mean, like, we see it all throughout seasons 1 and 2 and throughout the 2 movies. I think it's his loyalty, for sure. He's very loyal.
Yeah. What's like to act in scenes with Ted? Since he's a digital character, when filming, do you act with someone or imagine him there?
So it's a combination of both. So Seth is there doing the voice, because he's directing every episode. But in terms of what I'm looking at nothing. The empty space, like the same as if I were to look at the floor right now. I have exactly the same amount to work with.
Do you watch your work after it's finished?
Never.
Really?
I watched the 2 episodes that they had for the screening that we did in New York for season 2. I watched the first episode of season 1 when they screened it. And I go through and I skip through and I look at clips of everybody else, of Scott and Alana and Georgia and their stuff, because they're really funny and I want to see what they did on the days when I wasn't there, obviously. But the stuff that I'm in, no. It's got nothing to do with me anymore. I already did that. I don't need to torture myself like that.
Oh, is there anything about John that you relate to in real life? What's your school experience like?
My school experience was very much, I would say that like the way I would relate to John is that my childhood experience was non-traditional. It was not normal. I was, growing up, I was working, I was shooting, I was acting. You know, I didn't quite have anything as unusual as a talking teddy bear for a best friend, but that is something that I can certainly identify with.
If you could give John some advice, what would you say?
John, some advice. It's really tough because I want him to not do well, right? I don't want to give him the advice because I want, when we pick up in the first movie, to have him be able to learn that lesson there. I don't know. Keep Blair around. I think that would be a good piece of advice. Keep your cousin around. She's a good influence.
If Ted is human for a day, what does he do first?
Well, I mean, it's talked about a lot in both seasons and both movies that he doesn't have a penis. So I think he would try and use his penis, 100%.
Now I'm going to play a game where I say a sentence and you respond the first thing that comes to your mind, okay? One word to describe second season.
Good. Good, sure.
Yeah? One thing that John should never hear from Ted.
One thing that John should never hear from Ted. I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yes. A scene from the season that fans will love.
A scene from season 2 that fans will love? Well, I already said one of them where I pissed myself on stage, but I think people are really gonna love the whole D&D episode. I think that's a really fun one.
Yes. Who is more problematic, John or Ted?
Ted. Yeah. What? Yeah. 100%.
I agree. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to have you here. Could you send a message to your Brazilian fans to watch Ted?
Everyone, please watch Ted Season 2, only on Universal Plus by Wallplay.